Today I'm going to be taking you through your glute workout. I've got 15 glute exercises for you to follow, so it should be nice and short, about 10 minutes long. Perfect for a little daily routine or for when you're short on time. So we'll get started on your back. So coming down all the way into line for our bridges to begin with. Starting by raising the hips using the glutes, keeping a nice and neutral spine throughout. To get more glute engagement, you can push down into your heels. Take a quick rest here, and then we're going to go onto your single leg bridge on your left leg. So you'll float up your right leg into a nice single tabletop position, and then pushing down into your left heel, getting that nice lift through the hips coming from the glutes. Your watch point here with your single leg bridge is to keep your pelvis nice and level and make sure you're not pushing into your arms too much. Take a quick rest here. You can pull your knee into your chest to give it a little bit of a hug if you want, and then we'll reset and change over to the other leg. Another rest here, and then we're moving on to bridges with marching. So for this next exercise, you'll raise your hips back up into your bridge start position, and then when you're ready, you're going to extend at the knee, lengthening away with one leg and then alternating to the other side. You can have your feet and knees just a little bit closer together for your start position here, making sure the pelvis stays nice and level as we extend away and we tighten through the abs so we're not using our low back to lift. Okay, now we have a quick change onto our side to get ready for clams at level 1. So onto your side, lengthen your bottom arm away, have a little cushion between your ear and your shoulder, and then when you're ready, we're going to go straight into the clams, ankles together, turning the knee out. Your watch points with your clams is to make sure that you've got your top hip lengthened away, so you have your little mouse house underneath your waist. You want a slightly flat back position, so you'll tuck your tailbone underneath you, and then keeping the heels squeezing together as you lift, making sure the thigh is nice and heavy and the effort comes from the glutes. A quick rest here, and then we'll move on to clam at level 2. So this is the clam with the heels lifted. So keeping the feet together, float the feet up, and then when you're ready, keeping all the same principles, lengthen through your top hip, slight tuck of the tailbone, you'll be turning the knee out using the glutes. Another quick reset, and then when you're ready, we'll move on to clams at level 3. So you'll keep your bottom leg down and you'll float your top leg up to hip height, so the knee and the ankle are just raised. And then turning out, imagining that your foot is on an imaginary step, you're going to keep the foot nice and still using the same principles as we squeeze out using the glutes. Quick change again as we swap over to the other side for our clams at level 1 on the other side now. So lengthening away with the bottom arm, hip lengthened away. When you're ready, turning the knee out, squeezing from the glutes, get a little tuck of the tailbone, keep the hip nice and long and the feet squeezing together. Another short rest while we reset, and then we'll go to climb at level 2, so floating the heels up, and then when you're ready, same again, turning the knee out. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, so much better. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. A short rest and reset again before moving on to climb at level 3, which is our floating climb. So your knee and hip will float to hip height, foot is on the imaginary step, and then turning out, working through the glutes. If I want, let yourself be free, and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. Now you're going to roll onto your front to go into frog kicks. So legs will be slightly apart, knees slightly apart. You're going to lift the heels up, squeeze them together, and then when you're ready, pushing the heels up to the ceiling, lifting the thigh up off the mat as much as possible, keeping some core engagement here so we're not collapsing our belly button into the mat. So you want to feel like you're slightly tucking tailbone under, pushing pubic bone down, engaging through the core. So the low back isn't working, it's coming from the glutes and the hamstrings to do the lift of the heels. Now we're going to press up into a hands and knees position, so making sure wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, scoop in through the abs, lift the chest, and then when you're ready, going into fire hydrant. So you're going to lift the right knee out to the side, pushing the ankle and the knee up as much as possible, keeping our pelvis nice and level. Quick reset before moving into donkey kicks. This is where you're going to slide the leg back and kick up as high as you can. What's most important with this exercise is that you maintain a slight tuck under of the tailbone and you keep that core engagement throughout. You're aiming to lock the knee and reach back as far as possible. Now changing through to the other side, we start with our fire hydrant, kicking our left knee out. So reset, abs lifted, chest lifted, and then when you're ready, off you go, turning out, lifting the ankle and the knee just as much. Last reset, and then we go into donkey kicks. So checking that you've got the chest and the abs engaged, and then when you're ready, slide the leg back, extending, locking through the knee and pushing up as high as you can, but keeping the core nice and tight so you don't drop your belly button. And then when you're ready, push back into a nice child's pose. Relax the hips and the back here. Take a little moment to enjoy this. And then you can relax because you're done with your glute workout. Well done.